before we get into the chopping footage and talking about the Cordwood Challenge, this is something else I like to do with the axe. Learned this from Lumberjack Miramika. He is a chainsaw lumberjack, and he also throws overhand as well. I had a lot of fun with this. Enjoy doing this. I usually try to stick one in the stump after a fall. Whether I'm using a saw or an axe, I usually try to do an axe flip into the stump. And this is just practice that I do. This is from 2021. That's the big poplar I fell in 2021 that's on Kevin's channel that I will make mention of here in just a minute. That's 8 notches back, single rotation. And this clip is from today. This is current. After I picked up the axe chips, I went in and did a few flips there off those stumps. That's the Fisker's chopping axe. It's a pretty lightweight axe. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, and as well as the Steel Universal Forestry axe that weighs 5 pounds 1 ounces. I also flipped the TIMBERPILOT, which weighs 5 pounds 10 ounces. These are not hatchets. So these are big boy axes here that I'm flipping. Made mention of Lumberjack Miramika. He also throws the axe, which is another part of the Steel Timber Sports competition. So, I'm fixing to come in and start measuring the pile of fresh chopped wood. And thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoy this. So for the Cordwood footage, 3,554 swings. The Beech, 3,692. The Maple, 3,000 swings before breakup. A total of 10,246 swings on camera. However, only about 1,500 of those will be on the Big Log Challenge for the Maple.
A rude and crude measurement. This is official Stanley, calibrated by me. So we're a shade over 16 feet long. Okay, and there's this one is 8 foot. So we got a full cord and a half fresh chopped. I'm not going to count this outside row because I don't have that footage on film, and that was chopped earlier. So I'm not counting that. I'm counting as far as the chop footage, what's right here. And let's get a height on it. Okay, on the ground, gun barrel straight, over 4 feet tall. So we have in excess of a full cord and a half, plus the axe chips. Let's get those dimensions right quick as well. So my tarp is, it looks like it's about 5'2" or so by, just a moment, sorry for the shakiness, just short of 7 feet. Looks like about 78 inches there. And the height, we are approximately 2 feet tall on our height on the chips. And for reference, anything quarter size that is a 25-cent American piece or larger was thrown on the pile. And if we look around, those of you that buck with a chainsaw in this small of an area, in this quantity, say that you buck a full cord and a half with a chainsaw, the equivalent of sawdust, it's very comparable, I would say. And how many of you gather up your sawdust? So I made mention of that as well. When I mill with a chainsaw in certain concentrated areas, I clean that up. It goes on my mother's blueberries and on our gardens. So anyway, there's a good shot of the wood pile, and we're going to talk a little bit now. In the spring of 2023, I bucked the big maple that I felled the previous year, and the footage that Kevin presented was of a poplar in 2022. That was a big poplar. It qualified as a big log as well. But anyway, so in addition to what you see here, I had multiple big log bucks in 2023. Look at the tape here. Let's see. Depending on where you pull it from, it can be, you know. So this is a 20-inch bar, getting down to the nitty-gritty. And obviously you see we're not poking through the other side. We're going to cut the axe chip part off so we get an accurate measurement on the diameter. So here's our pin for accuracy's sake. I got a smidge in there. Come all the way across here. 2 foot 8 inches. So I failed this one in 2022 and then bucked it in 2023. Beech. Bucked a section of it, which was over 22 inches, and then obviously I felled the stem once I got that barber chair down. So I'm looking at a massive barber chair here. This is an American Beech, and it is over 3 feet in diameter. We see the steel universal forestry axe. So the barber chair happened approximately at the, I want to say the 20-foot mark. And the tree is massive. The attachment point is there, mostly weighted on the right side. So I think if we loosen the branches, my hand spans 8 inches. So we see this is one of the smaller branches, and obviously the trunk. So we're going to attempt to loosen these lower branches so that this rolls off and we can safely chop the main section. Here's a view from the top side. Or not. Again. We're still attached, still upright. Alright. So, chopping in that area right there. We'll see if I can release that. Maybe it'll slide. Probably won't. That's what we're going to do. Hope I captured that. tape time. .3'3" across the stump. 3 feet 3 inches. 3 feet 3 inches. I'll zoom in. All right, everybody. I have stuck my marker at the first break. There's the stump. Tape's running up the log here. .36 feet to the first break. And that is an unmodified Spencer logging tape. And there's where we were bucking. There, and there. So you see the distance that the log is moved. That's 10 feet. I'm standing up on top of the log. And we're way up off the ground here still, even with this thing on the ground. Down below me is a tripod. Tripod's at 6 feet. Okay. I'm standing on the log. So 36 feet to the first break. And in that section down there, we got another 20 feet down there where it broke. And then there was our falling. Get down here on the ground. Bear with me just for a minute, please. So, shortly before the passing of Jed Walters, I had done a safety video at the request of a viewer and talked about how that logging is the most dangerous occupation in the world. And I quoted some statistics there. Most deaths occurred within 15 feet of the stump. Now that would not have been true with this particular case here. And this tree was dangerous and deadly 60 feet that direction because it was up off the ground, way up off the ground. And barber chairs kill a lot of people. Barber chairs do. So we triggered this barber chair and got it on the ground, and we did it with an axe without injury, literally without a scratch. And it was calculated. A lot of strategy went into doing that. So the Steel Universal Forestry Axe is a very capable tool, regardless of what you're doing, and it's a universal tool. I wouldn't say that it does anything excellently other than be tough. It is without a doubt the toughest wood-handled axe I have ever seen. Hope you can see it in the background there, maybe not, but those of you that have watched along and viewed, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something, and thank you for the regular viewers for your support, for your encouragement. Whatsoever your hands find to do it with all your might. Thank you for watching. Links in there, as well as try to stick a couple of clips in this footage. And so we bucked the maple first early in the spring, and a lot of you watched along, those of you that have been regular. I'll put clips of that in there as well. So multiple big log challenges completed this year in the spring, and then everything that you saw here, most of my regular viewers are following along. There are playlists. 2023 the Steel Pro Universal Forestry Axe, Big Beech, that's a playlist. My Big Log Challenge, the Big Maple, a lot of that footage, a lot of big chop in there. A lot of talk about these axe chips and waste. Here's your waste. Several commented about that. And the axeman in the group actually commented last year. I forget if it was with one of the two Joeys or Matt Keevel, but some of us had that discussion. I saved those axe chips last year and included those in my pile last year with the Big Maple. Here's the poplar. I refer to it as Timber Sports wood. This is a little knottier than Timber Sports wood. Those of you that have experience with that. A lot of reference to me chopping my feet and legs. I did a lot of videos, and one exclusively, I believe it was episode 9, about axe control, swing control, not swinging axe harder than you can stop it, literally. If you can't stop it, don't swing it. And that being one of the main things that I emphasized. And then swing control when you do have a deflection, employing the flick method as you would in splitting to decrease the damage possibly in case of striking yourself. Turn that axe. But those of you know I call my misses, call my skips, and those of you that are long-time viewers, and those of you that are watching, truly watching my accuracy and my control. I'm not saying I can't fail. I'm not saying that I will never be injured. An axe is dangerous and deadly without swinging it. You can fall on it. I was recently in a large store, which I will not name and don't want to, but an elderly gentleman was helping me, an employee there, and a wall of axes. You may be wondering, where's this place at? Well, I don't know if I'm going to reveal that, but anyway, he had shown me a couple of axes, and someone before him had not hanged them properly, and they came down off the wall on him, and he escaped injury. An axe can hurt you without swinging it. You can fall on it. You can cut yourself while sharpening. A lot of assumptions were made, assumptions about my abilities and about my safety. The person swinging that axe is in control of that axe. It does not have a mind of its own, so we must be in control of that axe. And yes, it's very dangerous. And those of you that are long-time viewers know that I understand that, and I've talked about that at length and demonstrated a lot of safety throughout my videos. Another thing that I got repeatedly, chainsaw remarks. Get a chainsaw. And again, making assumptions and references to things based on a 30-second clip. Very, very little of that comes in my long-form videos. And most of you, long-time viewers that are watching that, the serious axeman, and if I know about steel axes, shouldn't I know about steel chainsaws? Of course. And those of you that view the channel and those of you that investigate know that I know about chainsaws and own several. And I made the comment that I own more saws than some dealerships, most dealerships, matter of fact, and work on them and with them and maintain them and use them, etc. and so on. I think that's about it. Obviously, things will come to mind. The use of this wood, I burn wood in my garage, in my shop, in my studio, and in the cabin. We've got a couple of clips of the cabin. It's in the background. It's up above us here, up the hillside. So the axe Cordwood challenge, what is it? Well, you fall or fail, and pardon my terminology, and someone may or may not correct me. So you fall, limb, buck, and split tree or trees exclusively with an axe. I understand that in the ruling that in your back cut that a handsaw is allowed, but I did not use a handsaw in the back cut. So endurance, several comments about that. And if I'm going to train to this level of exhaustion, the videos that you saw, I'm just working. And when I'm tired, I stop. I walk away. I'm not on the clock here. And even when I'm on the clock, my employers allow me to sit down and rest. They encourage it, matter of fact. a tired worker is a dangerous worker. So keep all this in mind. I started out 30 years ago employed as a wood buster, now, manual wood splitter and loaded dump trucks with firewood. This is what I started out doing. So no stranger to the axe. A commenter talked about taking my chip away, reference to a Boy Scout merit or badge, because of I assume, my horizontal swing versus the vertical. I did several slow-mo videos explaining my slow motion swing and how that particular swing, the bit is farther away from my legs most of the time, farther away from my feet and legs than a vertical swing. And in many of those shots, you'll notice a large piece of wood on my outside leg where that's being swung. So a lot of assumptions are made that I'm reckless, that I'm not safe, etc., and so on, and assumptions made that some that were not so good. Some I deleted, permanent deleted, blocked from public view. Language. Of course, you're exposed to a large cross-section of society, and I am thankful for those of you that respect my views about language. I know you use it elsewhere. I see you using it elsewhere, but you are very kind and considerate of me in your comments here, my longtime viewers. And I know I've got some good old boys that are rough that watch, and I thank you for your observance of my views. Now, a lot of people have been really good to me, a lot of heavy hitters in the comments, people that are long-term, proven, known to the public axemen, and some that are not so much, that I know who you are, and I know who you are by your comments and by research. Again, and you compare those. I have people that criticize me, and I questioned a few of those people, and come to find out they don't even swing an axe, and they're criticizing me. And then on the same hand, I have folks that are professional axemen, and I'm not about to ride on their coattails and call their names, but I have professional competitive axemen also that view and at the same time have complimented me. So we have those two extremes. We have the people that are competitive and people that are proven axemen, and then we have these folks over here that don't even swing an axe, criticizing. So thank you to those heavy hitters. Thank you to those people that acknowledged, hey, I don't swing an axe. You're criticizing me. I don't understand that. I made the comment, I don't go on a surgeon's channel and criticize him, a medical surgeon, and criticize him. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not qualified to criticize a surgeon. Now, I'm going to talk about the axes that I used this year. Premiering, I was privileged and honored to use the Casterman TIMBERPILOT. It's a 5-pound, 10-ounce Tasmanian style-ish axe built by Casterman Axe and Tool Company. And I think I'm the first cross-cutter to demonstrate this axe. That is bucking and then splitting axe bucked wood. There's a lot of chainsaw cut wood being split with that model, but check that out. That's a Casterman Axe and Tool. I think at Casterman2 on YouTube. The Steel Pro Universal Forestry Axe with a 28-inch handle. I use that exclusively on the Big Beach. Next, we have a Kelly Dandenong Tasmanian. This was hafted and gifted to me by at My Timber Sports Journey, aka the Vintage Axe Hoarder, Matt Amsball. And then we have a Fisker's 28-inch chopping axe. And this is not the splitting axe, and it wears a Killinger sticker. That's usually always with me, very close by. And all of those, everything here you see, from the TIMBERPILOT, the Pro Universal, the Kelly Tasmanian and the Fiskars are all 28-inch handles. A lot of commentary about that. That's what I prefer. And that's what I was using before I started any of this, putting any of this stuff on film. So anyway, and then on to the Council Tool original Jersey rail splitter on a 32-inch Killinger handle. A very slim, lightweight handle. To talk about the weights, let me back up to the Steel Pro Universal. It weighs 5 pounds, 1 ounce total weight. The Kelly there weighs, the head is 5 pounds. I don't have a total weight on it. The Fiskars is super lightweight. It's 2 pounds or sub 2 pounds maybe even. It's super light. Very lightweight axe. And then I think the Council Jersey rail splitter is 3 1/4. So when I want to rest, I usually pick up the Jersey and take a rest. And other tools that I use, the Fiskars A22 Picaroon, a very handy tool when it comes time to split or move those rounds. And then the log right cant hook with the timber jack on it. Now the timber jack is this portion right here, and that allows you to lift the log up off the ground. And anyway, this is a huge labor saver right here. The log right cant hook with timber jack. Well, that's some of the axes and equipment that I used. So concerning the horizontal swing, notice the wood between me and this piece of wood. Notice how far away that bit is from my body. Notice where it stops. And notice I'm going to step over another piece of wood and do the same thing, the very same thing. So I have a piece of wood between my foot and the piece I'm going to chop. And notice where the blade or the bit stops. Notice how far away it is from my body. Notice how it turns. Notice my left hand on the head. And what is my protocol should I stumble? I throw the axe from me. There is no one in my work area within 100 feet at any time when I swing an axe. I have lost the head multiple times. So keep that in mind. And I'm careful with my footing here. I want to read to you the tote and ship requirements. This certificate grants the scout the right to carry and use woods tools. The scout must show their scout leader or someone designated by their leader that the scout understands their responsibility to do the following: read and understand wood tools and safety rules for the scout's BSA handbooks, demonstrate proper handling, care, and use of the pocket knife, axe, and saw. Use knife, axe, and saw as tools, not as playthings. Respect all safety rules to protect others. Respect property. Cut living and dead trees only with permission and good reason. Subscribe to the outdoor code. The scouts' totem rights can be taken away if they fail their responsibility. So that's what that commenter was referring to, and I replied to him, I understand your meaning, and that was it. I never was an official scout, but I attended many camps. A very famous person who is in my community post, his father was my scout leader when I did attend those events. He's still living today, and he has no complaints with my axemanship, then or now. And he knows me very well. Also serves as an elder in the church. And the fellow I mentioned and myself are good friends, and the terminology that he used, taking away my totemship, a quote from Jesus Christ: "No man takes my life from me, yet I lay it down." Had I ever earned a totemship, I am not too proud to hand it right back to you and keep on with what I'm doing. And I don't recommend the Boy Scouts follow what I do. This is not Boy Scout axemanship, and I'm not a Boy Scout.
but it is a good organization. They teach some good skills. They teach some good basic skills. Don't misunderstand me. This is not Boy Scout level axemanship. And if that individual has watched my content, I think they would probably reword what they've said if they've watched it in full and are truly honest with themselves. Again, notice the arc of the swing. Notice where the swing of the bit stops. And I've talked at length about axe control, being able to stop that swing at any moment, or to employ the flick method to lessen personal self-inflicted damage should a deflection occur. Watch where the bit stops. Do I have the power to force that plumb through and send that axe into the ground? Yes, I do. And again, those comments are made based on a 30-second clip with deceiving camera angles. And I've never worked with any woodsman who's questioned my safety in a negative way. They think that I'm oversafe, especially around chainsaws. You know, I come out, usually have a helmet on, usually have chaps on. Most of the time, especially if we're doing bulk bucking, I've got a pair of gloves on, and you know, that's the way it is. Demonstrated throughout the channel, both with axe and with saws, but understand this is not instructional, this is not beginner stuff. That's my opinion. This particular clip was done in less than an hour. 1.5 quart axe split wood, less than an hour, with a 5-pound, 10-ounce Tasmanian pattern axe.
A couple of small bangs, chips. I put it in the dirt a couple times, Mr. Casterman. My apologies. I'm going to touch those up a bit. Whew.
Okay, here the wood has not been stacked yet. All this
today,
was split in less than an hour with a 5-pound, 10-ounce axe.
500 plus swings. I don't know what the clock says, but I'm estimating it's about 12 o'clock. And we've gone through a bunch of wood in, I'm going to say, less than an hour. And this is a lot faster than I would buck. 5 pounds, 10 ounces overall weight, Casterman, TIMBERPILOT, Tasmanian.
So we're going to end it right here with a flip from the Casterman TIMBERPILOT. Again, 5-pound, 10 ounces. The stump's approximately 3 feet tall. Again, commenters talking about my balance. I need to spread my feet so that I have sure footing. Here's another demonstration of my balance. And like I say, I could lose all this immediately and be bedridden or die, fall down dead at any minute. So I'm just a human that likes to be in the woods, likes to chop, and I appreciate everybody watching. Safe chopping to you and blessings to you and yours, regardless of your views toward me. Thank you very much for watching. Whatsoever your hands find to do, do it with all your might.